Nav, create audio reply, use standard encryption, and set it to normal priority. Begin recording. Hey there, it's your solar system surveying sister. I'm on Luna. I just got here a few hours ago and I'm getting caught up on all my mail. I really appreciate the update you gave me on Daniel. It's really hard for me to picture him starting high school already. When I clicked the photos you sent, it was like, I feel so old. I feel so old. He looks so grown up already. And, like, I still remember just picking him up and being like, little Danny for the first time. Proud aunt moment. Anyways, as much as I'd love to sit here and ramble on about how proud I am of my nephew, I have news for you. Like, work-related news. Something major, and I have no one else to share this with, so please keep this confidential, but it's, kind of crazy. I found a guy. This is work-related, I swear. But, yeah, I found a guy out in the empty, lonely asteroid belt. You repeatedly told me that it would never happen, and I honestly started to believe you. But I did. I found someone. And yes, I used the right word. I didn't meet a guy, I found him. I'll explain in a minute. I know you're sick of how I've gone on about how much I regret taking this contract, and I wouldn't really admit it to Mom and Dad, so I kind of used you to vent, and I'm really sorry about that. It wasn't fair to do that to you, especially when you were the one that warned me about how lonely it would be going out here alone. I went through all of that school and company training, and I had so much invested that I convinced myself things wouldn't be that bad. I told everyone that I wanted independence and that I could handle being alone. I even tried to pretend I'd meet up with some guy out here in a ship by himself in an adjacent sector or something, and we'd hit it off like a romance novel, right? Right? But then I found a guy, and he's really special. Like, in so many ways, it's really hard to understand. He's cute, he's charming, and insanely lucky. First off, he's a surveyor like me. He was alone on a ship, out orbiting along the belt, making big sweep scans of rocks in one whole sector, but then he had a computer glitch, he thinks, and which caused some sort of hardware malfunction, and then the redundant systems failed, we think. He told me that he lost his propulsion, communications, life support. Hell, even the onboard lighting went out. He jettisoned some air manually to act as crude thrusters to steer his ship at a big rock nearby, and then climbed into his cryopod to go into cold stasis. Yeah, remember hearing about cryopods? They've been obsolete since before we were born, but I remember hearing about them. Most people that went into them didn't wake up, so they were only used for emergencies or really long trips, and everyone scrapped them when stasis drugs came along. So, like I said, he's crazy lucky. He's got bad luck for sure, to have basically everything fail on his ship, including the backup systems, but then he stayed cold for over 80 years until I found him. And he recovered almost 100% within hours. So there's some insane good luck, too. When I think about it, though, it's pretty sad. He had no idea if he'd ever be rescued, and apparently he was assumed dead, and nobody went to look for his ship. Over 8 decades. Everyone he knew is gone now. Anyway, he's the reason why I cut my latest expedition short. I was supposed to be out doing core samples and drone sweeps for another 2 months. But once I had him on my ship, I immediately headed back in system. I didn't bother to ask permission from the higher-ups, because honestly it would have taken an extra, I don't know how many days. And I already knew that, I knew what they were gonna say, right? I just let them know I was on my way with an extra passenger and a very interesting partial scan. So yeah, I'm on Luna now. It took some arguing with my boss to get approval, but eventually we got assigned an entire private landing bay. The Public Port Authority wouldn't let us land in one of their terminals. The truth is, we're probably carrying a lot of, really old diseases that were probably pretty mild, way back in the day, but technology and, I don't know what they would do now, right? Because no one wants to risk having multiple overlapping outbreaks for stuff we have no immunity for anymore. I got sick after he woke up, and I had to deal with it myself on our ship. For the majority of our trip back to the belts, I was pretty sick. But it wasn't bad, it was just fever and other stuff. The autodoc did an okay job, but still, it was... I don't think I've been that sick before. Anyways, they put us in the bay, but left it unpressurized for quarantine. We used the airlock to pass some equipment and supplies through, including swapping our old autodoc for a new top-of-the-line one, which is so fancy. But that way they get all our medical records and samples, and we get a machine capable of doing surgeries. Yay! Which is why I'm recording this now. I'm waiting for him to recover from anesthesia. We had 2 big side effects of his cryostasis to deal with. One that was, both of his optic nerves were badly damaged and basically severed. Originally I thought it was something to do with tissue swelling, but his vision didn't recover after all the swelling went away, and the second was a blood clot that went undetected until it broke free and ended up in his brain, which caused severe seizures. Long story short, he made it through and strangely somehow had no long-term effects from it. His blindness, though, was something we had to deal with for the whole time we were on our way to Luna. So that was basically 6 weeks of helping him do basic stuff while he got used to doing them without his sight. After we got the new autodoc, after we landed, that we just used that, and I have no idea what kind of treatment it did, but it put him under, and then it went to work with these tiny little robot arms. It's super, super fancy. But it took about an hour, and the stasis screen says he'll be unconscious for a while, so I've got some time to kill. And I naturally started with my usual pile of messages from Earth. I honestly, yours was the first one I listened to, because, I mean, it's you. You're my big sister. Of course I'd listen to yours first. I really hope you're doing well. But, I hate to sound paranoid, but please keep this to yourself. It's a lot of confidential information. What day is it today? Maybe, just for a few days, please don't tell anyone, because eventually you're, most likely by next week, you're gonna hear this on the news, that we're bringing back a pilot that was lost for more than a century. And he's got so many stories, you can't even imagine. And Nav, pause recording. Okay. Why are they asking for an update? I thought they would have left it with the connected with the corporate network. There, now they can just check the autodoc themselves. What's his heart rate? Oh, I might be waking up. Nav save open audio file as draft and close. Hey there, sleepyhead. Starting to wake up already. Of course I'm playing with your hair. You know you like it. Don't bother denying it. Oh, hey, careful there. You can touch your face, but try to stay clear of your eyes. There's some covers on them, and we can't take them off for at least 48 hours. This autodoc doesn't use bandages, I guess. It extrudes some kind of resin over the injury. Basically a custom-shaped plastic cast, I guess. They'll fall off cleanly on their own when they're ready. If not, we'll put you in a hot shower for a bit. Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, how are you feeling? Yeah, everything went perfectly. No alarms, no complications. The only reason why you're feeling weird is probably the anesthesia. Would you like some water? It'll help flush it through your system. Yeah. Oh, 1 second. And here we go. Oh, here, let me help you sit. Here's my hand. And you can just put your hands on the sides here and push up. Yep. Yeah, it's way easier. We're in lunar standard gravity, 0.16 G, now that we're here. Here's water. Thankfully, this gravity is high enough that we can drink from normal bottles. I've never gotten used to those zero-gravity foil packets. I think back in your day, they still called them Caper Sun pouches or something like that. I still hear them from time to time, especially from old spacers. Oh, Capri Sun? Huh. I don't see how that makes any more sense, but sure. Anyways, I got us way off track. Are you all done? Here, I'll put the cap on and... give me your hand. There's the nightstand. I'm gonna put it right here. Yeah, it'll be here. If you need more, I won't move it. Oh, yeah, you probably shouldn't try to stand yet. Not like you have to do anything for the next couple days besides rest and recover, but still, if you're gonna stand, please just holler. Yeah. Enjoy the quiet, 'cause it probably won't last. Can you make some room for me? I want to sit with you. Well, sure, that should work. If it doesn't bother you for me to sit on your lap. Yeah, I know. Lunar gravity, right? Probably equivalent to having a cat on your lap on Earth. And I guess I have to admit, but it really is comfortable here. So, anyway, I get messages from corporate pretty much continuously while I'm on the ship, so we're always caught up here. Personal messages, though, only come when I'm in port somewhere, anywhere on Luna, Gemini Station, any of the public use fueling or repair docks around Earth, stuff like that. I get that mail all at once. Nothing came in for you this time, though. Legally you're not dead, quote-unquote dead, anymore, but most of Earth doesn't know you exist yet. There's just some universities, research centers, and the United Anthropology Institute, and they're all working through the company, so their messages come through corporate channels. Oh, yeah, nothing major. I got the usual stuff for me. A big pile of messages from friends and family. I try to personally reply to all of them, and I want to tell them all about you. Maybe give them a little warning about what they're going to see on their news feeds when you go public. I was actually composing my first message to my sister just before you woke up. Yeah, I might do that. Just make personal messages to her and my parents, and one kind of like generic one that I can send to everyone else. Every time I come in system, I get messages from old coworkers, classmates, and friends from my hometown. It's like everyone thinks I lead some exciting life just 'cause I'm far away. Well, I mean, they're right this time, right? Not many asteroid surveyors see this much excitement. You and your incredible luck, and me. Well, I guess I'm pretty lucky too, huh? I mean, I found you. Oh, and a huge piece of refined metal in the shape of a crashed ship. I'm not sure how they're gonna handle that. I get a bonus if I recover derelict ships or lost components, but it always comes as a bounty from the original owner or their employer. Your ship was from the UNSP, which doesn't exist anymore, and I mean, they were government-owned anyway. There's no bounty or legal claim on it, so technically it should be treated as raw minerals, I guess. I know they want to sell it whole as a historical piece for research, but I mean, I wouldn't get any pay bonus for that. No, I wouldn't. Even if they wanted to give me a cut of the sale, I'd just give it to you anyway. Okay, fine. Half. No lower, okay? I just thought of something. Did you have any personal possessions left on your ship? The Corvair, right? The only thing in your cryopod was you and the flight suit you were wearing. Yeah, I can imagine how that went. You didn't have long before you knew you were gonna crash and needed to make sure the cryo cycle finished before that happened. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much time to get your stuff, right? So, what do you think about going back? Just us. I mean, we're already in quarantine. We can't really go out and mingle with people here or on Earth. And now that they have the old autodoc, they can look up the antibodies in our blood and see about making treatments and vaccines. Plus, you're still recovering from surgery. Yeah. So, why not? No, we were going at less than a quarter of the thrust this engine can handle. I had to play it safe to conserve fuel and to help you acclimate while recovering from your thaw. But for this trip, we can definitely make it back a lot faster. Actually, I already know that they're gonna send out a tug to go recover your ship. They're gonna need at least one to pull the dead weight, and engineering is cooking up a way to slow down the spin of the rock, which might require a second tug. Those things are huge. I mean, we could dock with one and ride along, and they wouldn't even notice the change in load. As long as we kept the airlock shut, there wouldn't be any quarantine concern for the crew. You like that idea, don't you? And being alone with you on the ship for a few more weeks certainly wouldn't cause me any suffering. Tell you what, you relax here for a bit. I'm gonna call my contact in engineering and see what their schedule's like. I doubt it would take too much convincing for them to let us tag along. Especially if you offer your expertise on your ship. And we make sure to do some of those video interviews my boss wants before we go. Yeah? Okay, I'll be back. Hey, you. Hey. You went back to sleep already? I was only gone for like 20 minutes. No, it's okay. Don't get up. I'm just messing with you. You're still recovering from surgery, remember? Lots of rest is good. And like, those interviews can wait. It doesn't have to be now. Slide over. I'll climb in with you. So do you want to hear what they said or finish your nap first? Yeah, they love the idea. I think we've caused a lot of legal and PR headaches, and they don't know what to do with you yet. They're much more comfortable talking about your ship in the asteroid. Having us here on Luna and not being able to actually interact with us is just stressful, I'm sure. Oh, so I called my contact in engineering, and they were already talking with my boss about the ship recovery, so they just connected me to the conference. I mentioned that you wanted to get your personal items from the ship, and we could help, like, extract it. Right? Everyone jumped on the idea. So, we'll be leaving in a few hours. We just have one more load of supplies coming, including some EVA suits for you, and a new batch of drones, and then we're gonna go up into lunar orbit. I think they'll have us do some video calls while we're still close to Earth, but thankfully, no live on-air interviews. Fingers crossed. They're just sending one tug, a ship called Orca. It's pretty close. It's finishing up a job at Gemini Station right now. Due to the relative system positions, it'll be faster for them to come here and pick us up before heading out to the belts. Yeah, I'm really excited. I haven't had to deal with crowds of people since I last was on Earth 2-ish years ago. I kept picturing the two of us getting off the ship at the landing pad in Cape Canaveral or Vandenberg into a crowd of thousands of cheering people. It's kinda terrifying, honestly. I was dreading it. Instead, I get to lay here and cuddle with you more. I'd much rather just be on this little ship alone. With you for the foreseeable future. Yes, I love to cuddle with you. And, cuddle with you. You know what I mean. No, don't start getting handsy now, mister. You need to finish recovering first. You shouldn't even try to stand up on your own for at least a few more hours. Until then, you are still my patient. So let me snuggle you for a while. Don't bother asking. I know what you want. Yeah, I can read it on your face. No, it's fine. I don't mind.